With Tamanna, Neeraj, and Alex, the interesting part over here that we need to understand is the anticipated challenges. As Tamanna was mentioning, with regards to where price cuts are concerned, two, the high customer acquisition cost that any of these Indian generic makers will face, and that's going to be the challenge. And third is ramping up to the kind of capacity that is needed. These are going to be three challenges that we need to focus on from here on.
Yeah, absolutely, Hiral. And in fact, I'm going to take that question to Vishal Manchanda, Senior VP Institutional Research at Systematics, who tracks this space very closely. Vishal, thank you for speaking with us. I mean, what we're trying to understand is this weight loss play. I'm not getting into the details of whether it's semaglutide or GLP-1, but the weight loss play that Indian companies are getting into because the patent is expiring, is the timing getting mismatched? Because just before that, you've had some of the global players just smash their prices down. How is that going to work out for them?
Yeah, so I think so. This was expected, and probably we'll see more price cuts happening once generics come in. So unlike typical generics, wherein we see generic companies taking a larger share of the market, I think for this specific opportunity, the innovators are going to fight it hard, and they're also well positioned in terms of their cost of manufacturing to and they are better in terms of the cost of manufacturing to take a meaningful market share even when generics arrive. It's just about what supplies they have and whether they would want to prioritize the India market. If they think they have enough supplies and they would want to supply to the India market, they can compete in terms of the pricing and cost of manufacturing.
Initial sort of demand trends showing us on whether the global players or the innovators, as you're calling them, Vishal, will want to compete in the India market. And how does then that pan out for some of the domestic players who have been positioning themselves to come in aggressively in this market here?
So markets are going to expand multifold as the price points come down. So my sense is like we have about 20-25 million people using GLP-1 pens in US and Europe. So like if we have even half of those patients using GLP-1 pens in India, so we have a similar population size like the US and Europe put together. So even then the market is going to be very large, maybe in excess of 10,000 crores, and even after assuming a substantial discount to the current prices.
So you're saying that volume will make up for any losses that could come because of price erosion at this point. Which are the listed players you think best positioned to take advantage of this opportunity? You saw Dr. Reddy's taking a bit of a knock yesterday. Biocon has been in focus as well. How would you stack some of these players up, Vishal?
So I would prefer to own names which have which have a strong branded presence in the market, strong front end presence. So if you look at Sun, Eris, Lupin, and to an extent Cipla, they have a strong front end presence when it comes to diabetes in India. And like same goes for emerging markets. So if you have a strong front end presence in emerging markets, then that company is probably better poised to gain market share. I think from a manufacturing cost standpoint, all of them would probably be at the same around the same levels.
And do you see a further competition boost coming in and upsetting these plans? Because as you mentioned, we're going to see prices dropping even more. You've seen a 50% price cut now, and then you're going to see prices dropping even more.
Right. So prices, I think I can't tell you a number where it can come down, but yeah, my sense is from 30,000 to 50,000 per patient per annum is where I think prices can go. But not sure on whether this would come down to the bottom in the first year or they will gradually erode. Because what we are presently seeing is about 15 to 20 Indian players would probably be launching semaglutide in the first wave. So there is going to be immense competition. However, we'll see the market in terms of how we'll see the market share getting concentrated within the hands of the top 4 or top 5 players, while the other players would only try to kind of take some share on back of a lower price point, and that will actually compel the other larger players also to reduce prices.
These top 3, top 4 players are the same that you mentioned before with Sun Pharma, Lupin, Eris, etc. in the
Right.
semaglutide section?
Yes, probably Reddy's is working hard around this opportunity. They are trying to kind of, although they don't have a very strong presence in diabetes, but they are putting in all efforts to kind of make it big in this space. We'll have to see how Reddy's tries to kind of go about the GLP-1 opportunity.
Some recovery in Dr. Reddy's as well. Thank you so much, Vishal, for speaking with us and adding your inputs as we look at this conversation.